Alex Eala's most unexpected fan just stole the show. T-Rex Redheart. Forget the huge crowds. Forget the cameras. Forget the pressure of a WTA 1000 tournament. One very unusual supporter in Toronto managed to catch Alex Eala's attention, and it wasn't another tennis star. It was an inflatable dinosaur. Faced with tears of joy, T-Rex. And Alex's reaction to this hilarious fan moment made the story even more special. So how did a giant inflatable dinosaur become one of Alex Eala's most memorable supporters in Toronto? Let's get into it. Alex Eala's rise has already created something special in women's tennis. Everywhere she goes, Filipino fans are showing up to support her. And Toronto was no different. The National Bank Open became another stage where Eala's passionate supporters made their presence impossible to ignore. But among all those fans, one supporter stood out from the crowd. A giant inflatable dinosaur. Yes, you heard that right. A dinosaur. And somehow, this unusual fan became part of Alex Eala's Toronto experience. The Alex Eala fan effect. To understand why this moment became so entertaining, you first have to understand the incredible support surrounding Alex. Her fan base has grown dramatically since her breakthrough performances on the WTA Tour. ESPN previously highlighted the huge crowds that followed Eala at Indian Wells, with hundreds of enthusiastic Filipino supporters turning up to watch her matches. And that support has continued to grow. Alex herself has acknowledged how meaningful her fans are. She has explained that when people come to watch her, they often see something of themselves in her. And that representation is incredibly meaningful to her. That's what makes the Toronto atmosphere so special. These aren't just random spectators. Many of them feel personally connected to Alex's journey. Enter the inflatable dinosaur. T-Rex. But then came the unexpected star. An inflatable dinosaur appeared among the supporters. And suddenly, this wasn't just another tennis crowd. The dinosaur became a memorable part of the atmosphere. It's exactly the kind of funny, harmless moment that can make a tournament feel personal. Tennis can sometimes be incredibly serious. Players are concentrating. Every point matters. The pressure is enormous. But moments like this remind everyone that sports are also about creating memories. And apparently, one of Alex Eala's memories from Toronto now involves a giant dinosaur. Why Alex's reaction mattered. What made this moment even more heartwarming was Alex's response. Rather than ignoring the unusual supporter, she appeared to embrace the fun surrounding it. And that's something fans have increasingly noticed about Eala. Despite her rapid rise, she continues to show personality away from the pressure of competition. That matters because tennis stars don't just build fan bases through results. They build connections. A smile, a funny reaction, a quick acknowledgement, a memorable interaction. Sometimes, those moments can mean just as much to supporters as a match result. Toronto was already special for Eala. And this dinosaur moment happened during an important tournament for Alex. The Canadian event was another major opportunity for Eala to compete against some of the best players in the world. She entered the tournament carrying enormous momentum after her breakthrough hardcourt results. And her supporters clearly wanted to make sure she knew they were behind her. The crowd energy around Eala became one of the talking points of the tournament. Online fan discussions also highlighted just how passionate the Filipino support in Toronto had become. So the inflatable dinosaur wasn't completely out of place. It was almost the perfect symbol of the unique atmosphere surrounding Alex. More than just a funny moment. At first glance, the dinosaur story is simply hilarious. But there's a bigger message underneath it. Alex Eala's rise is creating a new generation of Filipino tennis fans. Tennis hasn't traditionally had the same mass following in the Philippines as sports like basketball and boxing. But Eala is changing that conversation. Suddenly, Filipino fans have a player they can follow on the biggest stages. They can travel to tournaments. They can wear Filipino colors. They can make signs. They can cheer. And yes, they can even bring an inflatable dinosaur. Alex Eala's connection with her fans. This is one of the most interesting parts of Alex's growing popularity. She understands that she represents more than herself when she steps onto the court. In a previous interview, Eala talked about the responsibility and meaning of representing people who see themselves in her. That's why these fan moments matter. The fans aren't simply watching a tennis player. For many Filipino supporters, Alex represents possibility. She represents ambition. She represents the idea that a Filipino athlete can reach the biggest stages of international tennis. And that makes every little interaction feel bigger. the dino becomes a symbol. So maybe the inflatable dinosaur wasn't just a funny object in the crowd. Maybe it represented something much bigger. A fan base that doesn't always take itself too seriously. A group of supporters willing to travel and show up. And a young player whose personality allows fans to feel connected to her. The tennis world is full of serious moments. Grand Slam pressure, ranking battles, championship points. But sometimes, the moments fans remember most are the unexpected ones. Think about how unusual this story is. A major WTA tournament, thousands of fans, world-class tennis players, and somehow, an inflatable dinosaur became one of the most memorable characters in Alex Eala's Toronto story. That's sports. You never know what moment is going to become unforgettable. And for Alex, this one is certainly a fun reminder that her supporters will go the extra mile, or maybe the extra dinosaur, to cheer her on. T-Rex face with tears of joy red heart. So, what do you think? Is the inflatable dinosaur officially Alex Eala's most unforgettable fan? T-Rex tennis. And if you were watching Alex live in Toronto, what crazy or creative thing would you bring to support her? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this heartwarming Alex Eala story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more Alex Eala news, WTA updates, tennis stories, and unforgettable fan moments. Alex Eala's journey is getting bigger, and apparently, her fan club is getting more creative too. Philippines Red Heart Tennis T-Rex. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.